we weren't in the studio to cover the game. We were only around for the Manchester derby, so this match has happened since. But was that the most dismal performance for Liverpool, at least this season, for you, Kev?
I think result-wise, yes. There's been some poor results. The Brentford away was a tough one, and Klopp was making excuses about Brentford being physical from set pieces. Brentford had, 2-3 goals disallowed. But I think the way Brighton play, you know, they really took it to Liverpool, and it was a comfortable 3-0 win, wasn't it? I think that's the problem. Normally, you play Liverpool, you are up against the pump. You know, you have to defend well. You don't get a lot of time on the ball. You don't get to play your game. But Liverpool just don't seem to be the same. I don't know if what happened last season, playing all those games, has caught up with them. They look to me to be a yard short at times. And when you're a yard short, Dorse will tell you, you get picked off. And that's what Brighton done to them. Brighton picked them off. And very, very tough time for Liverpool.
Same question. I was a yard shot for a long time, Kev.
You made up for it elsewhere. You made up for it elsewhere, Dawes. Good thinker, that's what you had. Not reliant on pace. But can I ask, same question to you. Was that the most abject performance from Liverpool this season, do you feel? Was that the nada, the lowest it can get, do you think?
Yeah, I would definitely say so. And I saw Jurgen Klopp on the touchline. He looked dejected. He looked down. And someone who's so energetic, you see his press conferences after, he's a broken man. He's hurting. You see, we all thought it was going to be Liverpool and Manchester City playing out for the Premier League this season. I certainly did anyway. And to see Liverpool down in ninth is a surprise. I still think they'll come with a challenge. They'll still be there because they've got players that can go on a run, and they'll be still looking, thinking, can we get to top four? But I'm looking now, 10 points behind Manchester United. It's a lot to make up.
Why do you think they seem so broken, Jurgen Klopp, this season? He's talking now that the players have just been burnt out because last year they quite, literally speaking, played every possible game available to them. They reached all their cup finals. They played all the league games. You could not play more games than they did last year. Over 60. Yeah, I think it's 63 in total.
Yeah, and we all give them enormous credit. We always spoke about Manchester City and Liverpool. They were the two far superior to any team in this league. And Jurgen Klopp on all fronts challenged and came up short in the league, and that will have hurt. It will have taken it out. Losing Mane, you know, they're conceding way too many goals for a team to be challenging. I think you can't score 4 or 5 goals every single week. They do blow teams away, but they're conceding way too many goals. Defensively, they haven't been good enough.
And I mean, do you back?
Adam,
yes.
Look, when you play what they call it, gag and press, heavy metal football, there's a lifespan for that. There is a lifespan. Going hell for leather every game for season after season after season, and then last season was the extreme. 63 games. They've hit the wall. They've hit the wall, and like I said, if you play like that, and then you're a yard short, teams then start to pick you off because you're not getting in people's faces as you used to. Mane, as Dor said, Mane was a big loss. You don't realise how big a loss he is until he's not there. Because you know who's affected as well? Robertson doesn't look the same player now that Mane's not there. So again, you had the combination Salah with Trent Arnold on the right hand side. You had Robertson and Mane on the left. And the balance just seemed to have gone. I tell you another one who's gone, who was an unsung hero, was Wijnaldum. Wijnaldum in that midfield was a workhorse. He'd go about his business. He won't say a word, but he was a grafter. Very, very different Thiago, very good on the ball, but it brings a different dynamic to Liverpool now. And as I said, when you're a yard off, Fabinho hasn't looked the same. Henderson, you know, hasn't looked the same. Just, you know, they're just a yard off, and maybe it's the end of the cycle for some of them players.
OK, final question on them. Do you back Jurgen Klopp to turn things around, Dawes?
I think it's a big question. Kev there has hit the nail on the head. You come to a point where longevity, day after day, week after week, you can't keep pounding, having the same voice and expecting the same demands. I was seeing it at Manchester City. I think it's earlier times there with Pep in recent, such high demands. And Jurgen Klopp, since he's been in at Liverpool, what he's achieved, what he's done, got those players to the level that was surprising at times. And I think it comes to a point where if you just come off, it just shows in the Premier League, you come off that 5%, it can be a real challenge. But I hope so. I hope they give him time. I think it'll be on his terms when he leaves Liverpool because of what he's done. He's been an absolute revelation for them, and he deserves the time, and he goes when he wants to go. But no, I don't see him leaving anytime soon. He's still got things that he wants to keep improving and getting back to winning things.
Yeah, same question to you as well, Kev, but I have to caveat with there's a lot of structural changes within the club as well, particularly upstairs. They lost key personnel, that trifecta of decision makers, which includes Jurgen Klopp, and you do wonder what's going to happen there. And also the ownership of the club as well, whether that's going to be sold as an entity or will it be shares bought into the club. I have no idea what the future holds for Liverpool Football Club right now.
Well, look, you ask any Liverpool fan, they will tell you they need to sort the midfield out. That has been the big issue. That Liverpool fans are hell bent on getting, players in younger with legs who can do the job. It's going to be a difficult one because there's going to be change of ownership. If Liverpool don't do well, I tell you, this is how crazy football is. There'll be certain Liverpool fans already calling for Jurgen Klopp's head, believe it or not. And they've been unbelievable over the last, 5 years. But when the results don't go your way, because it's such a results-driven business, Adam, fans, when you're used to winning like Liverpool are, and then you don't win, fans will turn on you very quick. So it's going to be interesting to see the changes that happen upstairs, to see if they can get some players in that midfield to help the likes of Gakpo. Salah, they've put him on the big contract. Diaz has been out injured. Jota's injured. So they do have some injuries as well. But the likes of Milner, he's getting on a bit now. Injuries are starting to kick in on him now, etc. So they don't have that full squad that they used to have. It's a problem for Liverpool, real problem. And Jurgen Klopp might suffer because of it.
I think we'll see the intent of what Liverpool are about in the summer. If they go and spend over £100 million on Jude Bellingham, I think that shows whether it's Klopp's still there, the new ownership. I think he's a player that they have to. Kev, you touched on, they need midfield players. They're an ageing midfielder. That the game's got quicker. You need legs in that in your team, and I think Jude Bellingham is a must for them to go and sign. I'm not sure whether he would go there, but I think if they signed him, that shows the intent of Liverpool.
Okay.
Dawes.
Yes.
Dawes. Do you think if Liverpool don't make Champions League, Bellingham would consider it?
No, I don't, Kev. I don't think he would go to Liverpool. I've said this before. I think, one, he would be too expensive for Liverpool. I think he'd be probably nearer 120, 130 million, what Dortmund would want. I think if he came back to the Premier League, it would probably be Manchester City because they have the funds, or Manchester United, or would he go to Real Madrid? But because we're on with Liverpool, I think they have to make a marquee signing. Someone that's so young, he's English, everyone's talking about him, and I think you talk about longevity, you would have him for a long, long time, and I do believe he's that good. However, I don't think he would end up at Liverpool, Kev. But
do you think it's plausible that they can go out and start strategizing and planning? Because I mentioned the upstairs trifecta and all of that. Well, if I break it down to names, Michael Edwards left, but they knew about that a whole year in advance. So his replacement was able to come in and get himself ready, even though he was already at the club. Now, he's announced he's going to be leaving as well. Mike Gordon, by all accounts, is more focused on the sale of the club and dealing with those things, leaving Jurgen Klopp effectively almost alone in this aspect, in decision-making. Now, some managers like that, some managers don't, but it's not how he's operated since he's joined the club. So does that hinder progress for Liverpool Football Club? Coming to you first, Dawes, for this.
Well, it will do, of course. I look at Michael Edwards, what he did. I was fortunate to play with Andy Robertson, and Michael Edwards was always looking. He was looking to improve, go out and sign players. Andy Robertson wouldn't have been a player that many Liverpool fans went, yeah, we want to see him arguably the best left back in the world, or he was last season and the season before that. So you have to have a plan, you have to have a structure. And I look at the way the football club is run, they don't seem to have that at this moment in time. I look at Brighton. I've talked about it with Paul Barmer, Tony Bloom at the top. And when Graham Potter goes, you've got to expect the unexpected at times. People will leave, and you've got to have a process. Who's the next person that you're looking to try and take over in their shoes? And Liverpool have got to have that plan and the structure to keep improving.
Yeah, because Julian Ward, for him to suddenly announce mere months after taking on the role from Michael Edwards to say he's leaving, it's very puzzling, Kev, very puzzling.
Doesn't bode well, that, Adam. I tell you, it doesn't look good, because normally the new guy comes in, he's full of life, he's full of enthusiasm for the job, but maybe he's seen something on the inside that he doesn't quite like, and he's saying, you know, I'm not going to be the fall guy for this, because let's be honest, the ownership, they're happy to sell the club now. They feel they've taken it as far as they can, because they don't have mega deep pockets like some of the other ownership in the Premier League. Now, Newcastle have Saudi owners. You know, they have the opportunity to set the bar to a different level completely. So, you know, maybe he spotted something on the inside that he doesn't want to be the fall guy for, and he said, you know, I'm out of there. So very, very difficult time for Liverpool on and off the pitch.